Congratulations to our University of Birmingham graduands. Here we are in the Great Hall at the heart of the Edgbaston campus. Attendees, mostly graduands and their friends and family, are seated. Here are the student musicians. now we're getting started. Here's the first of our 2 mace bearers beginning the ceremony. The centenary mace bearer is usually a staff member who has volunteered to take part in the ceremony. The mace bearer enters through the back of the Great Hall and leads a procession of staff to the stage. The Esquire Bedell, who is the second of the 2 mace bearers, follows. The maces are placed on stage for the duration of the ceremony.
It gives me the greatest of pleasure to declare this congregation and ceremony open.
Good afternoon and welcome to Birmingham. It's great to see so many of you here. Thank you for coming to join us. My name is Professor William Bloss, and as Interim Pro-Vice-Chancellor and Head of College for Life and Environmental Sciences, it's my great pleasure to welcome you all, welcome our graduands, friends, family and supporters to your graduation ceremony. We're all here today to celebrate you as graduands, your hard work, your dedication, your resilience. Today marks the culmination of this part of your educational journey. You chose to come to the University of Birmingham because you wanted to be part of a vibrant community in a fantastic city which champions excellence, which fosters innovation, and which encourages a thirst for knowledge. It may have been a tough university experience for some of you. During your time at Birmingham, we've emerged from a global pandemic, which has impacted our lives in ways we could never have imagined. And now we've witnessed the terrible invasion of Ukraine and the ongoing war, and we're experiencing significant economic pressures at home. So it's in times like these that friendships and the power of relationships are critical. As a university, we see this power in our relationships with all of you, with our graduates, in our partnerships across the world, in countries ranging from China and India to Brazil and universities in Ukraine. We see it as we host students and academics fleeing war and conflict from many other parts of the world as well. And we see it as we work with our guild to support students managing the cost of living crisis. So your journeys to reach this point may not have been quite what you were expecting. They will have been journeys marked by challenges and growth, moments of doubt and moments of inspiration. But you're here today having overcome all these barriers and having achieved your goals, and you're graduating nonetheless. I'd like to invite you just for a second to stop and just consider what you've achieved. Your stories will all be different, but they will have many common threads. You'll have explored new ideas. You'll have experienced the thrill of making new discoveries. You'll have tackled what may have seemed insurmountable challenges and problems in your academic and intellectual and possibly your personal lives. But you've overcome them. You've met new people who've inspired you, and you've made friends that will last a lifetime. You've expanded your horizons, challenged your and others' assumptions, and developed the critical thinking skills necessary to thrive in the world that awaits you. I hope that as you look back on all of this, you feel a huge sense of pride. And today is a moment to celebrate the tenacity, the determination, the drive you've shown to reach your goals. So what now? Now, you all, when you become graduates in a few moments' time, you'll have the opportunity to apply your expertise to make an even bigger difference. Those of us sitting on the stage, those of us sitting in the audience, are looking to you now to help address the needs of our world and the future. And indeed, our need for individuals like you has never been greater. We have a rapidly challenging world. We have a society facing complex and interconnected challenges. How we live healthy, fulfilling, and positive lives. How we develop sustainable futures for our people and our planet. Really key priorities across geography, earth, and environmental sciences. And you, our graduates-to-be, are the leaders and the innovators who will help shape that future. Your time here at Birmingham has equipped you with the tools to embrace this role with compassion and with understanding and with confidence. Your actions will have the power to make a difference. I'd ask you to choose to make that difference a positive one and to make it a kind one. As you embark on this next chapter of your stories, we should also take a moment to recognize those who've been instrumental in your journeys so far. Sitting behind me here are many members of the university community, your lecturers and professors from GEES who've encouraged your intellectual curiosity, your creativity, inspired you to question and explore. And you've also been supported in many ways by the tutors and support teams around you. So what I'd like to do is ask you now to take this moment to thank everyone in the university community who's helped you in your learning journey through to this graduation point. Can you join me in a round of applause? Thank you. There's also another group of people who we need to thank. And sitting in front of me here in the Great Hall and joining us around the world online, with tissues and cameras at the ready, we have your friends and family and supporters, all the people who are so proud of everything that you've achieved and your journeys up to this point. You will all have someone here or at home who's believed in you and supported you and showed you that kindness, and without who you wouldn't be here. So I'd like to just invite our graduands, those seated at the back, to please raise your hands together and thank everyone else in the hall here today and at home who's helped you along the way. Please raise your hands to them. Thank you. In a moment, you will come up onto the stage and our Chancellor, Lord Bilimoria, will admit you to your degree. So this is your moment in just a few seconds' time. And when your name is read out, that will be your graduation and your moment in the spotlight. And family and friends, that's your cue to make a lot of noise. So, please be careful on the steps, give a big smile for the cameras, and don't forget to enjoy your moment. Thank you all.
Now for the handing of the scrolls. The graduands will walk from the left of the stage to the centre and collect their scroll from the conferring officer. After they're congratulated, they'll walk off stage.
Hi, my name is John Oldfield. I'm the head of school for Geography, Earth and Environmental Sciences. Chancellor, to you and the university, I present the names of these graduands as listed in my programme, proved worthy to be admitted to their respective degrees.
By virtue of my authority as Chancellor, I admit those persons listed in the programme, both in attendance and in absentia, to the degree to which they are to be presented.
College of Life and Environmental Sciences, School of Geography, Earth and Environmental Sciences, Doctor of Philosophy. For research on ethical use of behavioural insights in the social housing sector, Hannah Audrey Absalom. For research into the relationship between flow and ecosystem structure and function in running waters, Raquel Arias Font. For research into contamination of air and soil surrounding oil and gas exploration sites, Afyang Lovelin Asuko. For research into alternative education spaces in Italian mainstream schools, Giulia Chiara Ceresa. For research into the occurrence, behaviour and risk of pharmaceuticals and personal care products in the freshwater aquatic environment, Abdelkarim Mohamed Abdalah Dawood. For research into the effectiveness of environmental governance in the Russian Arctic, Nadia French. For research into human exposure to chlorinated flame retardant chemicals, Muhdin Ramilakan Badamazu. For research into the chemistry of marine phytoplankton, Emma Hansen. For research into children's encounters and learning with nature and digital technologies, Polly Jarman. For research into historical accounts of oil exploitation and environmental justice amongst the oil host communities in southeastern Nigeria, Ejikeme Johnson Kanu. For research into the paleobiology and functional morphology of Raptorosaur dinosaurs, Luke Mead. For research into appropriate residential site environments for the LD in Thailand, Alisa Nutley. For research into the impact of land use and climate change on the demography of hole-nesting birds in cities, Victoria Sarah Patterson-Willis. For research about the lives and mobilities of young people with separated parents, Amy Louise Walker. For research into isotopic signatures and applications in modern and past environments, Bridget Allison Warren. For research into social participation among old citizens in cities, Naima Binti Yusuf. Master of Science, Air Pollution Management and Control, Matthew Park. Urban and Regional Planning, John Carlin. Annabelle Grace Parkinson. Master of Science, Anna Rachel Harry. Master in Science, Environmental Science, Tanisha Patel. Geography, Anna Rose Banim. Grace Burke. Adele Georgia Butcher. Lauren Amy Hughes Fruin Smith. Megan Gardner. Geology, Josephine Isabel Bennett. Grace Duffy. Eve Francis Norris. Thomas Parker. Ewan James Rocha. Geology and Physical Geography with an international year, Caitlin Allen. Georgia Marion. Geology with an international year, Chloe Cochran. Emily Lavina Hag. Julian J. Tong. Abigail Anna Wilding Lucas. Paleobiology and Paleoenvironments, Harry Thomas Jones. Paleontology and Geology, Dominic Best. Shak He Chu. Gabriel Frias Martins Milo. Joshua Gunn. Callum David Daniel Hill. Caitlin Devon Shelburne. Oliver Edwin Walcott. Paleontology and Geology with an international year, Joseph Healy. Bachelor of Arts, Geography, Ben Ainsley. Caitlin Beth Airy. Jamie Armstrong. Zoe May Osgood. Shamsia Bandali. Ella Barrett Patel. Amy Batchin. Isaac Bennett. Madeline Hannah Bloxham. Katie Butterworth. Joseph David Camp. Jaco Castillo McPherson. Freya Chapman. Molly Ruth Clay. Lewis Compton. Sally Victoria Coyne. Archie John Carl Delafield. Robert Michael Dickinson. Elizabeth Dixon. Adam Dunn. Neve Rosemary Elliott. Lucy Elsdale. Lydia Sasha Fazy. Katie Ann Ficken. Lois Maria Fish. Isabel Mary Flint. Matilda Floyd Walker. Abigail Maisie Forsyth. Alexandra Glynn Smith. Lydia May Green. Charles McCrae Habbick. Aaron Christopher Hall. Lucy Deborah Hyacin. George John Edward Holland. Syeda Nafisa Hussain. Phoebe Hyde. Amal Iman. Betty L. Isaac. Toby Leon. Annie Lord. Mia Isabel McGregor. Frederick George Malcolm McNeil. Rihanna Hope Helena Maddock. Daniel James Malpass. Finula Catherine Farrell Morris. Pierre Francanella. Thomas Robert O'Sullivan. Martha Ruby Pearson. Edward Joseph Pinfield. Freya Rackley. Emily Radin. Matilda Redzimski. Katie Cindy Rice. Claudia Stahler. Joshua Summerfield. Bethan Sykes. Sophie Taylor. Benjamin Twiss. Georgia Maria Wakely. Jessica Louise Waller. Liam Walsh. James Whitmore. Lucy May Whiteman. Geography with Year Abroad, Dylan Isaac Barker-Smith. Felix Jonathan Butler. Bethany Louise Gardner. Connor Green, Ellen Jones, Jessica Knott, Emily Murray, Emily Grace Shakespeare, Henry Shepherd, Catherine Grace Woodhouse. Bachelor of Science, Environmental Science, Faris Mumin Rashid Al-Kaifi. James Barton. Chalky Chan. Dylan Martin Sillies. Samuel Luke Richard Cooper. Ella Curtis. Matthew Stewart Harrison. Jennifer Hodges. Simran Kain. Esther Konichnya. Hannah Osmansky. Harry Russell. Jaslyn Kaur-Sierra. Rebecca Sommer. Mia Stevenson. Ryan Tier. Louis Thomas. May Constance Jurison Tipping. Edward Mikhail Gusti Weiser. Meng Zhou. Environmental Science with Professional Placement, Julia Steinfurt. Geography, Akila Tasnim Alam. Mia Arditi. Eleanor Grace Atkinson. Emma Laura Barker. Fenton Bishop Timings. Edward Bladman. Jessica Collins. Jamie Christian Cox. Portia Deville. Ruth Ellis. Louise Floyd. Isabel Green. William Philip Jensen Hammond. Alexander Heyman. Archie Hellis. Millie Holland. Charlotte Hoskins. Rafe Howe. Francesca May Hutchin. Cecilia Jewett. Lucy Kong. Matthew James Laidler. Joss Lotzev. Max Mafuzula. Louis Marsh Smith. Jasmine Lana Miller. Jasmine Shivani Mistry. Laura Ann Needham. Jaden Panja. Isabel Proverbs. Rose Radcliffe. Arvind Rupan. Amy Shaw. Samuel Sherrod. Zoe Nicole Skinner. Adam Francis Stanley. Lucy Stevens. William Story. George Taylor. Harrison Thompson. Cheng Ying Ting. Amelia Tupman. Finlay Webb. Jack Whitehead. Georgia May Willis. Geography and Urban and Regional Planning, Simisola Mary Adebanjo. Sophie Allen. Alexander Barker. Jaslyn Basra. Hei Young Edmund Chan. Hugh Yi Chan. Chu Won Kwok Choi. Wing Manchu. Kay Hewitt Nicole Chu. Rebecca Flischer. Ben Greenhow. Bryony Imogen Emily Hall. Benjamin Handler. Khadija Haq. Lucy Amber Hewson. Mia Kola. Adam Kroll. Hui Long Lee. Emily Lewis. Teo Lee. Laura Melinda. Holly Mayhew. Lucy Neve. Emmanuel Kume. Imogen North. Halima Parveen. Toby Petty. Kucheng Kian, Keely Reynolds, Lucy Roberts, Christopher Romano, Stella Russell, Taram Samra, Shimon Rafael Ciuta, Chloe Victoria Smith, James Stott, Toby Teed, Ming Hai Tong, Adam Tershwell, Joseph Vincenzo Vadilonga, Silod Bella Varga, Nok Him Yun, Geography with Year Abroad, India Zanzibari. Sophie Grace Farrell, Georgia Page Reeves, Penelope Rushin, William Scott Taylor, Geography with Year in Computing Science, Thomas Oliver Batchelor, Oliver Daniel Wilkes. Geology, Mahunan Fidel Ajakatan, Mohammed Ahmed Hassan Mohammed Al-Rawai, George Avison, Cameron Baines, George Stephen Birdsatch, Alkia Yili Kontan Sese, Archibald Crane, Joseph Richard Crisp, Cedric Paul Daberry, Luke Evans, Abdi Hakim Jama, Toby William Jones, Thomas Rana Knowles, Ahundwe Jan Esli Kwajo Komenan, Amani Veronique Victoire Kouassi, Tan Francis Lee. Ismail Maknoon Faik. Esme Morgan. Benjamin Luke Morris. Adnan Faisal Munyi. Ben Murray Buxton. Watara Amina Sara. Marie Joelle Nelly Secker. Janwen Kishan. Keris Louise Webb. Geology and Physical Geography, Oliver Daniels. Jennifer Eloise Fisk. Theodore Higgins. George Lynch. Theana Pamela Wakefield. Paleobiology and Paleoenvironments, Reese Hutton. Paleontology and Geology, Thomas Oliver Clues. Cornell James Darlington. Hannah Charlotte Dunn. Oliver Hill. Cameron Rees Mottram. I would now like to introduce the student representative, Esther Konieczny, to give a speech on behalf of the graduating cohorts.
Wow, this is impressive view, so much better than from the back there. Good afternoon, graduates, family, friends, university staff, and guests. I'm very grateful for this opportunity to speak on behalf of the class of 2023. I would like to start with saying a thank you to us, students, because each one of us got here through hard work and dedication. Our university motto says, per ardua ad alta, through hardship, great heights are reached. And you certainly followed it and got to this final stage, so well done. However, we wouldn't be standing here without the help of family and friends. I can't even remember how many times I cried during these years and was going to them for support. I suppose many of you could count on your loved ones too. So thank you, family and friends, for helping us with finances, accommodation, mental support, motivation, or just a simple hug when we need it the most. I always say this university is the best one, which is obviously very biased, but I genuinely couldn't ask for a better campus, facilities, and buildings, yes, including the Muirhead Tower, and those weird double stairs in the teaching and learning building. I always hate to do those hoppity step in between, and yeah, it helped, but still. However, the most important part is the fantastic academic and support staff of School of Geography, Earth and Environmental Sciences. It's full of researchers and experts, but still friendly and approachable people who always helped when we needed it. We root for you, and thank you very much again for making this such an amazing experience. But oh my, was it a roller coaster of emotions? From those sweet mornings in the bed attending Zoom seminars half asleep, but then watching the lectures at 1.75 speed at the end of semester, through amazing field trips to Switzerland, Tokyo and others, but also panic attacks when trying to submit your work at 11:59, the shock after the first statistics lecture when you were rethinking your life choices, but then simulating volcano eruption during another module and being really happy, but then trying to find that single error in your R code and being really sad again. Getting lost on campus while searching for a toilet, but then finding a really cool study space by mistake, always a plus. Walking around the old Joe, not underneath it because of some superstition. I did it a few times just for the adrenaline rush, and I'm fine. I did run though, just in case. The labs, when you tried your best not to spill the ammonia on your 2 sizes bigger lab coat because you just didn't know what size you are in science fashion. Running from one side of the campus to another for a lecture. Interestingly, the campus got longer and bigger the more in rush you were. Choosing the next year modules based on your interest and future career, and absolutely not because you didn't have exam as the final assessment. Who do that? But then the final project was so hard that you actually wished you would have chosen the exam. Too late. To those fabulous nights out with your friends and events at societies. I'm sure these and other days will be remembered forever. A few years ago, I read a book about the brain by David Eagleman. And what I took from it is how complicated the brain is, how experiences and situations shape it, and as a result, how different each one of us are. During university, there were times when I didn't understand why my classmates delivered their part of a group project late or didn't participate as much as I wished to. And it was easy to jump to quick conclusions. These situations are, however, exactly when I should stop and think. Some of them might have been working long hours or night shifts. Others were perhaps struggling mentally, had hidden disabilities or other health issues. Some had family problems or complicated relationships. Each one of us has got their own complex brain, situations, struggles, and background. And what I ask of me, and now of you too, is to treat people with kindness and open approach. Give us the opportunity to shine in the future, in our new jobs and roles, and try to accept us how we are. Because I believe that our different, but bright and fresh minds, full of ideas and innovations, can bring many advancements in the fields that we studied and add to the improvement of the environment that we are all depending on. Let me finish by approaching my classmates, friends, and fellow graduates. Be proud of yourself and celebrate your hard work. And if you didn't have the best time at the university, don't worry. You have your whole life in front of you, and I'm sure it will be a good one, full of new experiences and times of your lives. So go on, head high, and enjoy your new adventures. Thank you.
Esther, another huge round of applause for that great speech. Thank you very much. Thank you to Professor William Bloss for the opening remarks. Thank you to Professor John Oldfield for conducting the graduation, and thank you to all of you for being here. You started off this ceremony as graduands. You are now graduates, so congratulations to you. It is my privilege to have been Chancellor of this great university for 9 years. I'm only the 7th Chancellor in the 123-year history of this university, so do your sums. Some of my predecessors stayed a long time. Anthony Eden, the Prime Minister, was Chancellor for 28 years. I'm not going to be Chancellor for 28 years. It's been such a privilege. My family, I come from India originally, and my family have almost a 1-century-long relationship with the University of Birmingham. My mother's father, my grandfather, was here, started in the 1920s and graduated in 1931. My mother read English and History of Art here and graduated in the 1950s. Her brother, my uncle, did his PhD in engineering in the 1960s, and here I am as Chancellor. And it's the most amazing privilege to be here. What I can say, and I want to reinforce something that Professor Bloss said in his speech, you've achieved this through hard work. You've achieved this through really challenging circumstances. The COVID pandemic was during your studies for a lot of you, and it was the worst crisis globally since the Second World War. And you've had a tough time, and hats off to you for achieving what you've just done. But you have not done it on your own. You've only been able to do this because of your friends who've supported you, as you've just heard from Esther. But also, I can tell you as a proud father, 2 of my children have graduated, how proud it is for us as parents and family. If you feel proud, I cannot express how proud your family feels of all of you today. And they have supported you all the way through your lives to where you are today. And your amazing teachers have taught you brilliantly. And I think it's thanks to them as well as your hard work that you've achieved what you have. So please, graduates, stand up and give them all a huge round of applause, to your family and your teachers, please. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. And we at this university pride ourselves as having some of the best teaching in the world. Apart from teaching, of course, we're very good at research. A top university has to be fantastic at research. And there is no better example than our world-class research than the number of doctorates you saw today, the doctors who have graduated, exemplar. Congratulations to our doctorate students who've graduated. And by the way, this is every ceremony you will have, like today, almost 17, 18, 20, 25 in every ceremony. We really pride ourselves on world-class research. Now, when you walk out of there, you've graduated, but I'm sorry, you're never leaving. This is Hotel California. You can check out any time you want, but you can never leave. And I'm not joking, because you are forever a member of the Birmingham University family for life. You are now one of 300,000 alumni in just about every single country in the world. Now, if you were graduating from an American university, so I recently became, not recently, a few years ago, an alumnus of an American university, and I'm not exaggerating, the next day I received an email asking me for money. That's how they do things there. We're not quite so blunt, but do give back. Because, you know, the reality is that you will be successful and you will have the ability to give back in money, yes, but more importantly, give back in your time. We as a university have one of the highest fundraising of any British university. And we're the only one in the world that recently had, as part of our fundraising, committing to hours, volunteering hours for the university. So give us your time, come back, mentor, teach, you're always welcome. If you go down the corridors, you will see amazing exhibits of the wonderful work that has taken place in this university including John and Harry Boot, who developed the cavity magnetron, a key component of modern radar. And the microwave oven, this was meant to be one of the most important inventions from the Second World War. We've had 10 Nobel Prizes at the University of Birmingham. This beautiful campus of ours, I would go so far as to say one of the finest university campuses in the world, through benefaction over the years, but outside the Tyseley Energy Park doing research on renewable energy. With the pandemic, the amazing work that was done at this university, and I took a part in that. I'll give you a quick example. The Premier League football, the season came to a halt with the first lockdown after March 2020. And I was approached by a testing company that said, look, the government's not allowing the Premier League to continue, but we think we can test all the players and the coaches in a bubble without spectators and allow the games to be continued and televised. And you have the best testing professors in the UK. Can you help us? Because if you can support it, maybe the government will listen. And I introduced them to our medical school. I introduced them to Professor Alan McNally, who ended up heading testing in the UK, and the government allowed the Premier League season to continue, if you remember, through the whole pandemic. And this university played a major part in enabling that to happen. The Commonwealth Games last year. The ceremony before this were our sports students. We're one of the highest ranked sports universities, number 6 in the whole world. And we hosted the Commonwealth Games last year. How many of you, can I see a show of hands, saw the Commonwealth Games on television or in person? Yeah, 1 billion people around the world. Didn't it make you proud of the UK? Didn't it make you proud of Birmingham? I tell you, it made me really proud of Birmingham University. We played a bigger role than any university has played in any games, Olympic, Asian, Commonwealth, European, in the world ever. The baton relay that went round, Her Majesty the Queen handed over the baton in the October before the Games at Buckingham Palace. I was there to see it, and that baton then went all around the world. That baton wasn't just a baton, it was designed by this university that not only took films and pictures around the world, but it measured the air quality and the pollution and sent it back to our professors over here who analyzed it real time. We're one of the main sponsors of the Games. We had hockey on our campus. We had squash at the sports center that Princess Anne came and opened for us at this university. And the Athletes' Village was on our campus, and Prince Charles, now His Majesty the King, came and visited that. That's how much we did with the Commonwealth Games. And I'm proud to announce that this year, the university is going to be hosting the International Blind Sports Federation World Games on our campus right here. And I tell you, I've been in the House of Lords for 17 years, and when I joined in 2006, I was the 3rd youngest peer in the House. I'm still one of the younger peers in the House. But one peer who joined with me on the same day, one of the most brilliant members of the House of Lords, is Lord Colin Lowe, who is blind, who was former president of the RNIB. He'll be very happy to hear about the Games taking place here. Another hero of mine in the House of Lords, Lord Blunkett, the former Home Secretary. He will be very happy to hear. And a 3rd blind peer we have in the House of Lords, Lord Chris Holmes, one of the highest awarded Paralympians ever. He will be very happy to hear what we're doing over here. You noticed many international students graduated today. I'm chair of the All-Party Parliamentary Group on International Students, and I'm a former international student myself. Thank you for the money you give us. £42 billion. It's one of our biggest exports. It's phenomenal. But I tell you, much more than the money, you enrich the experience of our domestic students, you enrich our universities, your families come and visit you, you put back into our community, and more importantly, you become lifelong, generation-long ambassadors for this university and for the United Kingdom. And there are more world leaders who've been educated at British universities along with American universities than any other countries in the world. So thank you to our international students. I've got good news for the graduates. If most of you already have a job, if you don't have a job, you're going to get a job. That's not just me being optimistic. It's a fact, because we have one of the highest employment records of any university in the United Kingdom, every year, year after year. Today, at this ceremony, geography, geology, earth sciences, as president of the Confederation of British Industry until June last year, I was at COP26 in Glasgow for 1.5 out of the 2 weeks. I'm hoping to be at COP28 at the UAE later this year. And last year we had one of the biggest spiritual leaders in India, Sadhguru, on this stage over here, with hundreds of people here and in the Brahman Auditorium, campaigning for saving the soil, for at least 3 to 6% organic content in soil. So climate change, the circular economy, sustainability, the environment, biodiversity, all these are really, really crucial existential issues, and you have studied at the heart of it. So my final words to you are words of advice. It is my duty as Chancellor to give you. My younger son, Josh, I was driving him to school at the age of 17, and he suddenly turned around to me and said, "Dad, you've got to live as if you're going to die tomorrow." I said, "What are you talking about, Josh?" "Dad, you've got to learn as if you're going to live forever." "Where did you get that?" He said, "Mahatma Gandhi, of course." And that's so true. Live as if you're going to die tomorrow, but learn as if you're going to live forever. So the learning never stops. Keep learning, be curious. Lifelong learning is not a cliche, it's real. And some of you may have participated in the Guild Awards that take place in this hall every year, and I as a Chancellor attend. It's a phenomenal event where the students put on for the students and awards to themselves. And it's for music, it's for dancing, it's for entertainment, but it's also all the amazing charitable work, community work that our students do way above their studies, and it is inspirational. So continue to put back into your communities wherever you are. You are graduating from a British university. I spoke at the QS World Rankings annual conference this year. I made a keynote speech, and that's the major global ranking of all the universities in the world. 4 out of the top 10 are British universities. 5 are American, 1 Swiss. Hang on. America's population, 330 million, we're 67 million. We've got 4, they've got 5. Not bad. Top 100 in the world. Britain is less than 1% of the world's population. 17 out of the top 100 are British universities, of which the University of Birmingham is one. So you are graduating from one of the best universities in the world, and be proud of that. I think that deserves a round of applause. And remember what Esther said to you. Remember what she said about how we're all different, about the complexities, the struggles, treating people with kindness, giving people the opportunity to shine, celebrating your hard work, and that you've got your whole life ahead of you, and hold your heads high. You couldn't have got better advice than from your own fellow student. So thank you again, Esther, for those very wise words. I'm an entrepreneur. Many of you might start your own business one day. I still chair Cobra Beer, the brand that I founded, a household name that I'm very proud of. And I tell you, it's not easy to be an entrepreneur. It takes one word, guts. The guts to do it in the first place, but more importantly, the guts to stick with it when others would give up. It's never going to be easy. Professor Bloss spoke to you. Outside there's a wretched war going on in Ukraine. There's an economic crisis. There will always be crises. And my late father, General Villamoria, he said to me, "Son, the true test of leadership is not in the good times, it's in the times of adversity." So face those challenges, make the mistakes, because good judgment comes from experience, and experience comes from bad judgment. There's no shortcut. Learn from your mistakes and keep growing as individuals. And finally, I have to wish you good luck. So I can just say to you, good luck. But the best definition of luck that I've ever heard, luck is when determination meets opportunity. If you're not determined, you will not even see the opportunity. And I visualize it like waves that go past you in life. If you're determined, you might catch one of those waves. If you're not determined, the waves will go past you all your life. So be determined and get lucky. And finally, believe in yourselves. My favorite saying of Mahatma Gandhi, if I paraphrase it, is your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits form your character, and your character determines your destiny. Good luck, congratulations, and all the very best. I now declare this congregation and ceremony closed.
Congratulations to our new graduates. The attendees applaud our new graduating class. To close the ceremony, the maces are collected from the stage. The mace bearers lead the procession of staff and new graduates out of the Great Hall. The ceremony that completes the university journey for hundreds of Birmingham alumni is now closed.